Mike Owens here. Today I'm joined by Joe Bodybags Pyfer, who come back UFC 303, first round KO. Joe, always a pleasure, my man. How are things with you today?
Yeah, they're good, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me and having a rough day. Not the happiest camper. Got some shit going on in my personal life, but figured I'd give some time and still try to. I told you I would, so I am.
Well, I always appreciate your time. It's a little bit of a different setting. Last time it was over coffee in Austin. Now we're over Zoom. But coming off a fantastic win, one of the best of your career, how are your emotions after Saturday night?
They're good, man. They're back to normal. I wasn't really like high on this win. Um, I'm not sure why. I actually don't know why. I'm proud of it, and it looked clean, and it's exactly what it was. And maybe just because it was a short fight.
Mm.
Um, I feel like the warrior part of me that wants to be in a fight, I guess wasn't satisfied to a certain extent. But I also don't know if it's that or if I've just, man, I've had a ton of health issues. So, and then I got a lot of shit going on in my personal life. So, yeah, I'm not sure which one, but I would say I feel like a normal Joe Pyfer in a bad mood today.
Have you had chance to watch the fight back? I mean, it's a pretty short one, so I hope so.
Yeah, just the ending sequence a
Mm.
bunch. I've only watched the actual fight twice. Um, Not much to take from it, but what there is to take from it is good. And I also think there's like a couple things that I could have done better, and there's a lot of things I could have done better in preparation moving forward. And that's what I'm most happy about is I know I got a lot of room to grow and a lot of room to improve, and I've always known that. But I guess I'm just more optimistic about it, right? Because everybody shit on me because I lost a decision.
Can we talk about that? Because you definitely felt like you had a chip on your shoulder throughout fight camp. I mean, throughout fight week. I saw all of your media, and you did seem to continually mention the last fight. Was this almost like a Roy Jones, you almost have forgot type moment for you? Did it feel good to kind of prove the doubters wrong in that way?
Yeah, man. It did. It was like, everybody keeps calling me Salty Joe and shit like that. And I actually think it's funny now, but there's also the competitive side of me that's like, hey, here's some salt in your wounds, motherfuckers. All you people talking shit on me. And it's just, I don't know. I have a disgust for fans a little bit, that do that. The
Yeah.
good ones are the good ones are why we do this, and they're great. And I'll always be appreciative of them. But, sometimes the fans ruin it for the fighters, and they've ruined it for me a little bit, where it's like I've kind of detached myself a little bit from the interactions with fans just because, they're dickheads. So,
Mm.
fortunately, I'm good in person, as long as everybody treats me with respect, I'm good with it. But just as far as the social media shit and just everybody being trolls, I hate this weak fucking society that we're in. And it's a bunch of woke little bitches. So, yeah, I was mad about the last fight, not because I lost to Jack, because Jack won.
Mm.
I was mad because everybody said I got fraud checked and all this. And it's like, well, in my opinion, getting fraud checked is going out there fighting a guy on your fourth fight as a main event who's had 17 UFC fights, more than my entire professional career, is going out there and getting knocked the fuck out, absolutely outclassed, and getting submitted. I wasn't absolutely outclassed. I didn't get knocked out, didn't get dropped, and I didn't get submitted. And I wasn't close to getting finished. He hit me with a good shot in the third round in my eyeball, and I thought he poked me. It was a legal shot, and then I couldn't see him the rest of the fight. I had half vision, and regardless of how that came, it was a legal shot. And I couldn't see him after that. And he really started busting up my leg. And then, yeah, I got tired. I had a whole camp where I only could train 5.5s 2 times,
Mm.
where I actually made it through the sessions. I was, you know, there's Lars Sanko was there interviewing me. Like everybody was like, why are you fighting? My coaches wanted to pull me, but I truly believed I could show up as I was. I took the gamble on my career on a new contract. It's not like I was going to say no. So yeah, it's just bro. There's a lot of things that go on,
Yeah.
and I wasn't the best Joe Pyfer that night, and Jack was better than me, and I'm okay to say that. I like Jack and I respect Jack, and I'm not trying to discredit him by talking about it. It's just there's factors that go into these things. So I was just really salty, like they call me, because yeah, man, you kick a man when he's down. I wasn't 100%, and I got a bitter taste in my mouth. Everybody loves you until you lose, and they're telling you to kill yourself and all this shit. So, yeah, it's bittersweet, brother. And now it doesn't bother me.
Mhm.
But you know, uh, I still want to voice how it made me feel, because I had to feel those things and get over those and mature with those feelings, and get past it for a little. I would say probably 2 months it took me to really get over shit.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, and that's disgusting that the fans of our, or people who call themselves fans of our sport, treat our athletes like that. No, respectfully,
Yeah,
it does. It's. But have you made peace with that? And what I mean by that is that's kind of part of our sport, isn't it? That's
it's
kind
part
of
of the
that's
game. This
yeah.
only exists in the MMA fans, bro.
Mm.
This is just what they
In the
are. They're very
casuals.
toxic because it's people beating each other up, right? So it's not like they're gonna, it's offensive anyway. It's like, oh yeah, this dude's gonna fuck you up. So
Mm.
it's like that. That's just the sport that we're in. I'm okay with that stuff. It's like, people telling you to kill yourself and all these things. It's like, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it now. I wasn't cool with it then. I'm cool with it now. You know what I mean? It's the opinions of sheep. None of them motherfuckers would get in there with me. And most of them that would, they would get their ass whooped. So yeah, it is what it is. I had to mature, I had to grow. I hadn't had that phase of the sport yet. I was eventually, when you're fighting the best in the world, you're eventually bound to catch a loss or get caught,
Mm.
I guess they would
Yeah.
say. And Jack was the better man. He taught me a lesson and I'm very thankful for it. But like look at this past weekend. It doesn't discourage my confidence. I'm coming back. I know who the fuck I am, and I know what I'm capable of, and so does my team, and so do my coaches. And even them shitting on my coaches, like saying, him bringing up my father in the fifth round. He was trying to dig deep into my soul because he knew, I was 2-2 and going into the fifth round. It's like you got to pull this off, and he was trying to tap in, and you can't fault a coach for trying to get his fighter motivated because I definitely wasn't there mentally. I couldn't see and I was out of breath,
Yeah.
and it definitely fired me up a little bit because I came out hot and then he took me down. So
You respectfully, Joe, there is, as you mentioned there, there's good ways to lose and there's worse ways to lose and there's better ways to lose. I feel like your loss in February was one of the better ways to lose because you can take so much in those 25 minutes in the cage. We often hear this phrase from John Kavanagh, you win or you learn. What did you learn from that experience against Jack Hermansson? And what could you
so
take into this fight?
that this is a business, right? And I can't fight with my ego all the time. And going out there and trying to throw one big bomb in the later 3 rounds is what lost me that fight. In the early 2 rounds that I was winning, that I won,
Mm.
clearly I was throwing combinations and I was pressuring and I was dictating, and then I let that fall back. So I learned, the veteran is, don't go out there and try to kill the guy with everything you got. Um, and then the other part of it is sometimes you got to go out there and fucking sometimes people are just built different and built better. Like I think Jack's a better cardio guy than me during that fight. But could I have gone out there and pushed the pace and like really tried to get him out of there? I was clipping him with some shit. And yeah, so I learned that part of it. I also learned to just treat this like a business. And that's exactly what this is. Take your emotions out of it and give yourself the best possible chance of success. Don't go into fights with injuries. Don't go into fights with sicknesses and illnesses.
Mm.
And I should have known better, but I truly, maybe it was the arrogance, really believed in my mind that no matter how sick I was, I could still beat Jack and I could knock him out because that was what was in my head. I
Yeah.
convinced myself I could knock him out. I still believe I could knock him out. I believe I can knock anybody out if I get a clean shot,
Mm.
but I really didn't get that clean shot on him that night. So, I learned that. I prioritized my diet, went and got blood work, went and got tested, got my health figured out as best I could in short amount of time. It was only 4 months in between. So I figured that out, and I really I prioritized my sleep. I always had a hard time sleeping, and I got an Aura ring, and I
Mm.
really started doing the things that I needed to really just be the best athlete that I can be, or start that process to be the best athlete that I can be. And that's exactly what I think I am. I'm on the journey to be the best athlete. I'm still not at my peak. I'm not even close. I hurt my back. Fucking bro, the fact that I'm just an injury prone guy, man. I had a lot of things even going into this fight, and yeah, so and I still showed up.
So then you take a loss, you have all this fan backlash, you have these injuries going into a major fight on International Fight Week, and you perform the way that you did. When the
Mm.
referee steps in and calls that fight, what does that emotion feel like?
Anger, bro, just anger. Like that's what that primal like rage is, that scream. It's I guess it's ego, it's pride, it's anger, it's frustration, it's happiness, it's I'm the fucking man. It's all that in one. It's just my primal like war cry, I guess, because yeah, all those emotions are in that one. It's like you thought I was gonna lose, you think I'm done, you thought I was a fraud, you don't think I hit that hard, blah blah blah. It's just like all these little things that you know they may not bother you, but you don't forget them. Like they may have bothered you and then you get over it, but you never forget the things that
Mm.
actually used to be like damage you and hurt you, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying these people's words like hurt me that much, but when you go on social media and it's repetitive, like
Yeah.
you're gonna have it in your head, so it'll agitate you. And I did such a good job this fight of just blocking out the noise. I even told you I was gonna do no interviews
Mm.
because I didn't earn the right to do no interviews, and I was just focused on the fight. I wanted to get back in the win column the way I knew I could. I didn't know it was gonna be that fast or that devastating. But I wanted to, I humbled myself. I was like, I didn't earn an interview. I'm not going to talk shit. I'm not going to talk about this fight. I had respect for Mark. Let me get in there. Let me do my job. Let me fuck this dude up, and then we'll talk.
I
So
love, I
those
love
are the
it.
things that I've learned. Don't
Mm.
talk if you didn't earn the right to, and
I,
that's how I felt.
I love that, and that's a very powerful message. You call out a guy from my side of the world, well, a guy a couple of 100 miles north of me, and Paul Craig up in Scotland. Where did the Paul Craig beef come from? I think I saw you say he looked at you funny one time. Is it a personal between you and him? Where did that come from?
I don't know if it's like personal. Like I guess it's personal. Yeah, yeah, I guess it's personal because I'm calling him out, right? Yeah, no, I was at a UFC event in Boston, and I like scooted by him, and I looked at him, and he just like looked at me like I was a piece of shit, and like I don't know if he was just hard nosing me, like giving me the fucking tough guy stare. Can't
Mm.
read too much into that, right? But for
Yeah.
me, it's just how I am, and I'm like, you just fucking, like, you didn't nod, there was no respect, there was no nothing. So I was like, all right, I understand where we're at. And then when I cornered Brendan Allen against him and Brendan Allen beat him, I said I wanted next. He didn't even acknowledge it, Mr. fucking popular. And now so I fought a tough guy in Marc Andre-Barriault, who everybody kept priding on his durability, priding on his his chin, his cardio, his pace, blah 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 blah.
Mm.
And yeah, so I think it makes sense, as much as people are trying to make it personal because I talk shit and I said I don't like his fucking face because I
Mm.
don't. It does make sense as a fight. He was just in
Yeah.
the rankings. I don't know where he's at now, but I assume he's not that much further back. He fought another ranked guy in Kyle. Um, and I'm number 19 before I beat Marc Andre. So I was like, I think it makes fucking sense. I think we're right at the same spot. But I did say a few negative comments. Like people are like, oh, you're calling out a guy who's on a 2-fight losing streak. It's like, I don't give a fuck if you're on a 2-fight losing streak. You're still one of the best in the world. And I wouldn't disrespect him and not, um, uh, prepare for him like he's one of the
Mm.
toughest fights of my life. He beat Ankalaev. He beat Jamal Hill.
Mm.
He beat, Andre Muniz. He's had some tough fights, and he does have the ability to catch me. You know what I mean? And I want to fight them all. I want to fight them all. So why not? And I just don't like this guy, and I want to fight a guy I don't like.
I think we talk about this when we spoke in Austin, but given how much has changed since the last time that we spoke, do you want to take this run to the title slowly? Do you want to continue to build your skills, or is it a case of get me in those top 15, those top 10, and ultimately those top 10, top 5 fights
Nah,
as quick
man,
as I can?
let me get my reps in. I'm 27 years old. All these guys that are making title runs are fucking 32, 33,
Mm.
34. Like, I'm not going to be the youngest champion if I win the belt, like, in the next 2 years. So what's the fucking point in rushing? Let me get my reps in. Let me get more comfortable. I'm getting comfortable I'm getting better and better and better each time. First of all, I already do great with the pressure. I eat that shit. That's not my problem. I just need my reps in there. You know what I mean? I know I'm powerful. I know I'm fast. I know I'm explosive. I know I'm well rounded. I just need to blend it better. I could have out wrestled Jack. I could have outstruck Jack. I was outstriking Jack, but now I got to learn the longevity part of it. I have to be a complete fucking athlete. And I am, but I need to be better than what I was. So, yeah, why should I take these big leaps for what, bro? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, for what? I took a big leap against Jack. It was too soon. But I still believed in myself. I bet on myself, and I proved that I can go 5 rounds. I've never been 5 rounds. And I did hell of a good job against a guy who's been in like fucking 6, 7 fucking main events,
Mm.
5 rounds, whatever it is. So yeah, I'm proud of it, man. And I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud of the grit that I got, and look at how I came back. Does that look like a kid that's broken or discouraged? I walked him down when he's the guy that usually presses forward. I walked him down, I did my thing, and it only took one shot to wobble him. The first shot I threw that actually caught him wobbled him, just like I said. And then I wrapped it up. But yeah, to answer your question, I want to get my reps in. Give me like 2 or 3 more reps. Let me make some money too.
Mm.
Let me have a fair chance at making a fucking living. Um, you know, Fighting these fucking top killers. I don't care what anybody says about the ego. If you fight these guys before you're ready to fight them, there is a maturing process. And me losing to Jack was already a gamble, right? I didn't get 2 checks.
Yeah.
And I'm not in the position in my life where I'm comfortable enough to say, hey, I can afford to lose,
Mm.
you know? So in the UFC, sometimes depending, you never really know where you stand. I think they love me. I think they appreciate how I fight, and I bring that energy. I talk my shit, I scream, I'm intense, like I'm exciting to watch. But I'm not willing to gamble my job on a 2-fight losing streak, you know. So I also put that pressure on myself with this one. You know, I hold myself to a high standard, and yeah, man. So yeah, let me get my reps in.
I love it. Last one from me, Joe, and I appreciate you're a busy man. It feels like you've been through a lot. Feels like a lot's changed from the last time that we spoke
Mm.
back in December. So I'd like to know, for me personally, or for my wider audience watching, give me a piece of advice. Give me a piece of advice that you've learned in the last 6, 7 months.
March to the beat of your own drum, man, no matter how uncomfortable it is, and don't go with the crowd. If it's what you believe and it's what you feel is right, stick with it. I don't care if it's the closest person to you saying it's not right. If you believe with your heart and you can look yourself in the mirror and know that you're a good person, you give back, or you know, you care about people in general, then don't let somebody else take that from you. And I'm saying it because I have a bunch of things going on in my life right now. And sometimes the people closest to you try to make you seem like you're a bad person or whatever the case is. And
Mm.
that's not true, man. Like, if you can lay your head down night and know that you give back to the world, you're a pretty good human being. And as long as you aren't taking from people or, you know, trying to hurt somebody else. Yeah. So again, go to the beat of your own drum. This is more of an outside fucking thing that leads to the inside. So yeah, know your friends, know your circles. And sometimes the closest people to you are the most dangerous people for you. So what the
Joe,
heart wants isn't always what the heart needs. You know what I mean?
I feel that. Joe, congratulations on the win on Saturday night. Enjoy it as well. Make sure that you take a moment to actually enjoy this victory, and I look forward to seeing you back in action soon.
I will. I appreciate you, and I'm glad I got to talk to you. You're a gentleman, and sorry, I wish I had more time. I just got a lot of shit I got to do. I got to still go get my luggage and stuff. I got Ariel Helwani, but yeah, man. So I'm thankful for you, and I appreciate you.